Paul Straub with New Home Tube tonight at the Manor. Tonight, Stonewall Museum and Library will be honoring Barney Frank. Barney Frank's been a congressman for 32 years, standing up for what's right in America and helping to promote the gay community and gay rights. Let's go ahead and see what Barney Frank has to say.
This is the Stonewall Heritage Award for Barney Frank. Barney, on behalf of Stonewall and all the people who love us and you, please accept this award. I'll take it with me when I walk off stage. Jim Reddy, thank you for making this man so happy. We all are very grateful to you and love the fact that you two have found such love.
Thank you, Brian. What?
I love you.
Okay. And I'm very happy to see this turnout. Last election day was extraordinary. It really did mark, well, Winston Churchill in his history of World War II had one volume entitled The Turn of the Tide. It was the volume that chronicled the beginning of victory. And that's where we were on election day. We have turned the tide in this very long fight against a vicious prejudice that has blighted the lives of so many innocent people. And I remind us of that because there were those who would tell us, oh, aren't you lucky how much things have improved? Aren't you grateful that things have gotten better? George Orwell was shot in the neck during the Spanish Civil War. And when he recovered, someone said to him, well, you're lucky that you were shot in the neck and recovered. And he said, yeah, but all the people who were never shot in the neck in the first place were even luckier. Do not ask us to be grateful for the fact that a vicious prejudice that never should have existed is finally being defeated in substantial part to our... And the results were extraordinary. One of the things people don't do is to remind people of the stupid things they said. We've seen that in the marriage area because someone ought to be writing a book just quoting all of the ridiculous predictions that were made about what would happen to social cohesion if we were allowed to marry people of the same sex. We need a similar volume about ridiculous predictions made about chaos in the armed services when we got rid of Don't Ask, Don't Tell. Now, one species of that decision, the tendency to overestimate prejudice. Go back a few months when President Obama said he was in favor of same-sex marriage. Go back even further, even more extraordinary in many ways than what he did in supporting same-sex marriage, was the president's extraordinary decision, very rare, and it should be very rare, to refuse to defend a newly passed federal statute in the court. And it wasn't a statute that was 100 years old or 200 years old. He refused to defend a law that had been passed less than 20 years ago. That's an extraordinary thing for a president to do. It was very risky. And at the same time, he said he was going to insist that any further legislative, any further judicial decision about our rights, that it be held to the highest possible standard, which was a great improvement for us legally. And when he did that, nobody came out for marriage. Somebody ought to go back and read these predictions that we got. Oh, this is going to be a big political issue. This is going to be very much an issue in the presidential campaign. And there is now a consensus that President Obama's support for same-sex marriage was a political issue in the campaign. It helped him a lot. Recognition of the basic right of one human being to express his or her love for another by becoming legally responsible for each other as well as emotionally. In Mitt Romney's view of the world, that's a gift to a special interest group. And he was angry. But you have to put this in perspective. In Earlier this year, the political wise guys were saying the president would be hurt by supporting same-sex marriage, and Mitt Romney is now complaining that he got an unfair advantage.
Yes.
In Iowa 2 years ago, justices who had said that the Iowa Constitution required same-sex marriage were thrown out of office. This year, the one justice who had been on the ballot then was returned to office. We want it in every state. Pro-LGBT candidates beat the anti-LGBT candidates in virtually every place where that was an issue. So here's the point. In military history, the one mistake that great generals sometimes make is to ease up after they've won big victories. When they understand the troops are tired, there's a natural human tendency to celebrate, and they don't press their advantage. We are on the verge of winning this long fight against that prejudice, but that's a reason to step up our efforts, not to relax. There are two things I will say about this politically. One, it's time for those of us who are gay, lesbian, bisexual, and transgender to tell our friends, our family, the people we do business with, everybody with whom we interact, who professes respect for us, maybe even love for us, who tells us how much they admire us, tell them it is inconsistent with that expression to then go and vote for people who are going to trash our lives.
Amen.
And I'm glad to see some very rich guys in New York, hedge fund guys, who argue for same-sex marriage. I'm glad to see lawyers who do it. But when you then go around and fund Mitt Romney, who would make our lives miserable if he could, you're taking back with the one hand what you claim you're giving with the other, and what you're taking back is more damaging to us than what you offer. We need to tell those who are close to us that if they really mean it, they will join in pushing for us to be treated fully as legally equal to everybody else. Secondly, that means, let me be very explicit, a good time for some of you to start, Thanksgiving's coming up. Bring your partner and tell people who you are, and if they don't like it, using a Thanksgiving metaphor, tell them to stop. And the reason is this. I'm not asking people to take undue risks. 20 years ago, people could plausibly say, you know, I support you. But if I say it too clearly, I can lose my election, I can lose my job. I understand that. And I admire people who are courageous, but I didn't think people had a mandate to martyr themselves. But that excuse is no longer there. This is no longer a homophobic country. People cannot tell us now, oh, I can't say nice things about you. I can't support those rules because I don't want to be in a small minority. Now that's where the country is moving, and so we have a right to insist that people move along with it. And secondly, you hear a lot of
Wait a minute, are you gay?
You hear a lot of calls for bipartisanship politically. It's not always logically carried out. I take the TV show that will be shown on Sunday with Senator Kay Hutchinson, a Republican from Texas, who began by talking about how we should be civil and bipartisan, and ended by, in an outrageous fashion, accusing the White House of kind of funny business in regards to the Petraeus thing, in a very despicable and broadcast way. But here's the deal. Bipartisanship is good once people know where people begin. Partisanship is also important in a democracy. And I want to say something that some people try to run away from. There are major differences between the two parties, Democratic and Republican. And on no issue is there a bigger difference than the right of lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender people to legal equality. And people have said to me, why are you making this partisan? I didn't. The right-wing Republicans did. I wish it was not partisan. Yeah. But as long as we have a party that maintains in its platform an opposition to everything that would make us legally equal, I'll give you, in 2006, a Republican candidate for Congress, re-election, said people should not vote for his opponent because he was a Democrat who would make Nancy Pelosi Speaker, and Nancy Pelosi would let Barney Frank put into place the radical homosexual agenda. He lost the election. The next day I happened to speak to the Chamber of Commerce in Greater Boston, and I said I feel somewhat inadequate because apparently in at least one district in Indiana, I have a mandate to enact the radical homosexual agenda. And my problem was that I didn't have a radical homosexual agenda. I wasn't letting us get married, have a job, serve in the military. Not very radical by historical standards. But that's, on every one of those issues, there's a partisan divide. So I hope we will reach the point when support for our legal equality is in fact not a partisan issue. But it will only happen when we withhold our support for those who oppose it. And yes, I would like to get the right-wing group that controls the Republican Party to change their position on LGBT issues. But you don't get people to change their position by rewarding them for maintaining it. You get them to change their position by giving them an incentive. And the way you give people like me an incentive is to tell us you're going to vote against us until we change our behavior. The time has come for an all-out effort, using every personal and political and financial resource we have. And if we do that right, and if we don't accept excuses, if we build on this momentum, then I believe within 10 years we are going to have achieved at the national level pretty substantial full legal equality. There may be a couple of states, probably will be, a few states where you still might not be able to get married. They're not states where I want to live, but there are people who don't want to live there and we can't abandon them. But this is also finally what we call a virtuous cycle, the opposite of a vicious cycle. In a vicious cycle, things make each other worse. In a virtuous cycle, they make things better. The more we achieve our rights, the less plausible are the arguments that the achievement of our rights will cause social disorganization. Excellent. And so, as we go forward, and as we kill the argument that we are bad for the military, we are undermining the argument that there is some problem that comes when we get married. Pretty soon there will be nationwide, I believe, rights to employment. I'm very pleased to be here in this museum. And you know what's going to be the best thing about this museum? When it's really just a museum and not part of an ongoing fight. That's what you want a museum to be. I want the museum of the fight for gay rights to be like the museum of natural history. People are going to walk around and see those exhibits and say, boy, did there really used to be dinosaurs like that that didn't think people should be able to get married when they were in love? So this museum is very important. It's important now as a part of our fight, and it's going to be very important.